Hey family, are you a first-time cruiser and are you going on Carnival? We got some tips for you. All these tips can be used on almost any cruise line, but in most cases, it's just for Carnival. Let's talk about a few things that'll help you have a great time on Carnival. Now keep in mind, it's always so much to think of when going into booking a cruise, especially if it's your first time.
Right.
But we got you covered. We got some tips for you. Like I said, these are specific for Carnival. You're only a first-time cruiser on Carnival one time. So let's make it a good time. I'm Alvin.
And I'm Brandon.
And these are cruising tips for the booking process for Carnival Cruise Line. So your first cruise tip is booking during wave season. Now, booking during wave season, first of all, let's start with wave season. Wave season is January 1st. That's Brandon's wave season. So wave season is January 1st to March 31st. This is the first quarter of the year. In travel season for cruising, this is wave season. Now you'll get cheaper rates, lower deposits, onboard credit, and maybe some extras, but always book during wave season. Keep in mind, you don't have to travel during these dates, but it's always best to book your cruise during those dates. That's January 1st to March 31st. Brandon, what's the next tip?
All right. Next tip is flying with a major airline. So you want to book directly with a major airline to avoid any miscommunication with third parties. Best accommodations like non-refundable tickets or cancellation policies. Rumor has it, if you book late at night, there is a cheaper rate. Don't know what airlines, but...
So if I book late at night, like around, let's say 10, 11 o'clock at night?
Maybe more like 1 a.m.,
okay,
2 a.m.
Okay. And this is a rumor, so keep in mind this is not proven and it's not associated with any airline.
Right.
It's just a rumor out there. So
Right.
book late at night and you might get a cheaper rate on your flight.
Save some money.
There you go.
All right. Also, you should check availability in your area. Some small cities have flights that leave maybe one time a day or maybe sometimes once a week. So you want to make sure that you check the pricing and availability in your city to make sure that you can get to your port on time or ahead of time.
Next tip is hotel planning. So after you get your flight, you want to book your hotel. We recommend booking near the port.
Right.
Because it's more exciting. You see the port. You get to, sometimes the day before, you can see one of the ships that's leaving that day. They're there, so you can see their embarkation day. You can see the ship sailing off. The morning of, sometimes if you wake up a little bit early, like I did on the Carnival Valor, I got a shot of the ship coming in. That was exciting. That was a good way to start the day. But yeah, you find a hotel near the port.
Also, I mean, as far as finding the hotel near the port, you want to see what's near your hotel. If you want to grab dinner, lunch, if you want to do something in the city that's around the hotel, you could do that as well.
Yeah, most parts are surrounded by city life, so restaurants, bars, stuff like that. So you can always have a good time there too. You're not just confined to the hotel.
Right.
Also, with the hotel planning, you want to check with the hotel because some hotels offer port parking. So this is usually cheaper than parking at the cruise port, and in some cases, it's actually cheaper than parking at the third-party parking lot. Check with the hotel. They may offer this. Some hotels do. I know a couple hotels in, I would say Orlando, but Port Canaveral offer this, and some other ports as well. It's either a secondary parking lot or like the very back of their parking lot. It's usually secured by fence, maybe barbed wire. I don't know. And it usually is monitored by camera though. So you'll be safe. You basically stay at your hotel, and then once you leave to go to the port, your car stays at the hotel in that secured area. If the hotel doesn't offer port parking, always check with the hotel, because in most cases they offer a shuttle to the port.
Yeah. Speaking of third parties, when I went on my solo cruise and I left out of Miami, I drove from Orlando to Miami.
Yep.
I found a company online that offered parking for maybe like $9, $10 a day. Mm-hmm. I went on a 4-day cruise, so maybe like $45 to $50 plus tax. Why not?
Yeah, absolutely.
I saved money.
Yep. So that's if you're driving in. If you're flying in, always check with the hotel for an airport shuttle from the airport to the hotel. Mm-hmm. And in most cases, if they're really close to the port, they'll also have a shuttle from the hotel to the port.
Right.
So always check the hotel. Most hotels have more accommodations that you may know of. So always check the hotel, and always look for hotels close to the port. That's the ones that's going to have the more accommodations catered to cruising.
Right.
So Brandon, what's our next tip?
All right, next tip is arriving to your port city a day prior. So this prevents embarkation day stress. And once again, embarkation day is very stressful.
Yes, it is.
Also, arriving a day prior prevents, if anything happens, like canceled flights, delayed flights, any weather that Mother Nature throws out there could, cause the flight to, be delayed or anything. It prevents that, because you don't want to travel on the day of.
It's so
and
stressful.
and get to the airport and find out that your flight is canceled.
Stressful, yes.
So that puts more stress on you, because you just planned your whole vacation and you were hoping it goes well, to get to the airport and find out that your flight is canceled, and maybe that's the only flight that day.
Exactly. Or it's the last flight, because you're flying the last flight of the day, red eye flight. So yeah. Mm-hmm.
And now you can't get there. So, you want to try and get to your port a day prior. Also, if you're not there, the ship will still leave.
They'll leave you.
On my last cruise, my solo cruise, 6 people. 6 got left in Key West. So, we saw them running down to get to the ship. But we were all waving goodbye. So, it will leave you.
I haven't seen that yet, but I'm waiting to, because that's exciting. As long as it's not me, of course. The next tip is plan for a custom experience. Some people cannot even afford to vacation once a year. Mm-hmm. Some people can only afford to vacation that one time a year, but you always want to make it a custom experience, just because you want to make sure your money is well spent. You've been saving all this money for I don't know how long. So you want to make sure it's a very custom experience and you have a great time. Right. So, like I always say, all cruises are great, but not all cruises are treated the same. So if you go on like a 3 to 5 night weekend cruise, it's going to have a total different vibe of a 7-night voyage. So that weekend party cruise, you go to a 7-night voyage, it's going to be a little bit more relaxed. Mm-hmm. But on Carnival, you're still going to have a good time. It's still going to be a party, but it's just going to be more chill, more relaxed. So keep in mind what you want to do on a cruise. If you want to turn up, I'll find a 4 or 5 day cruise in a heartbeat. Right. Yes. If you want to turn up, find that shorter cruise. A longer cruise is going to be more laid back. It's not going to be, well, it'll still have young folk there, but it'll have more people that have that time to take off of work. That's what I'm trying to say. Also, you want to plan for kids. If you got kids, make sure that the ship is already going to have kid activities for children, but you want to make sure the activities fit what your kid would want to do.
Right.
So that's something you would always want to look for. And then when I always go on a cruise, I check my destinations and I ask myself why I want to go to a certain port. Because that alone will already start the process on helping me finding excursions, because I already know what I want to do in the port.
Right.
Well,
also, I'm a history person. So, you know, when I look at cruises, I say, what history or what background does this destination have that I can go and explore, you know, get some knowledge of the area and, you know, find out things I didn't know about or I didn't learn in school. So why not? Also, check to see if your ship has theme parties. Some ships do like a 80s night,
a white party,
Motown parties. During the month of October, you know, Carnival does Halloween contests.
Costume contest.
Yeah, costume contest where you can dress up in your costumes and, you know, win a prize or whatever.
Yep. That was actually fun on our last cruise.
Yeah.
Even though we somewhat missed it because of the drink, y'all. Because of the drink, we missed it. But it was still fun to see everybody's costume and stuff like that. We walked in literally as everybody was leaving. But anywho, also one thing before we go to the next tip, check for accessibility options on the cruise. Most newer cruise ships will have bigger cabins for like handicapped accessible, stuff like that, wider hallways. So if you have a mobile scooter, a wheelchair, something like that. Newer ships will accommodate. Older ships are still handicap accessible, but the newer ships will have better options for you, in my opinion.
All right. Next tip is pre-book anything and everything.
Absolutely.
When it comes to anything, if you know what you're going to need, it's good to pre-book. That way you can already have it done and out the way. You don't have to worry about extra spending. You don't have to worry about, oh, do I have the money to do this? Pre-book it in advance. Also, you know, sometimes if you pre-book stuff in advance, there may be a special that's offered or, you know, a different rate than once you actually get on the ship. It all could change at any point in time.
This also goes back to wave season. Wave season, some of these prices could be totally different. So that goes back to tip 1 on pre-booking. If you pre-book it during wave season, sometimes things could be also cheaper.
Yeah. Also, you know, some Carnival offers faster to the fun, drink packages, Wi-Fi packages, you know, bottled water, gifts, and specialty dining, excursions, all that. You can, you know, do it in advance, pre-book it. Once again, I said you can save money, you know, doing this in advance. That way you don't have to worry about, you know, finances later.
When we went to Key West, our, second cruise together?
No, that was the first one.
Our first one?
First cruise.
We did jet skis in Key West. So he didn't know about our first cruise because it was a total surprise for him for his birthday. So what I did all the research and stuff like that, but I didn't know what excursions he would do because, like he said, he is a history buff. He loves history, but I also knew it was his birthday, so he was going to want to turn up a little bit. So I didn't know what kind of excursions to plan for him, but once we got on the cruise and once he finally found out what we were doing, I basically gave him a list of stuff that we could choose from. We decided to do jet skis in Key West, which was a lot cheaper booking through third party. Once we got off the ship,
it was actually we booked with the company that was doing the excursion.
Yeah.
Versus booking the excursion on the ship.
It was the same company going through Carnival, but we booked it directly with them once we got off the ship, and it was
cheaper,
$30-$40 cheaper per person to do it directly through them instead of going with Carnival, just because we researched the prices ahead of time. So, hey, always look at stuff, pre-book everything. Yeah.
So also, once you get off the port, at the port, some companies offer cheaper rates versus what you get on the ship.
Those last minute deals.
So last minute deals, cheaper rates. You know, always check with the company. Go on their website. You might see a better deal on there as well. So
another thing is, for most excursions, if you don't port, like the ship actually doesn't port, you get your money back for excursions. So make sure you check with the third-party vendor, and with most cruise lines, it is what it is.
Is that due to like weather?
If it's like too much bad weather or whatever, too rocky or whatever like that, and you don't actually port and get off the ship, then in most cases, all your excursions, they just cancel it and refund your money.
Good to know.
The next tip is going to be for the drink packages. So just like Brandon said, you can pre-book this, make it cheaper for yourself. But I would say, first, Carnival has one of the cheapest drink packages at sea. They have 2 different drink packages. They actually have 3. And most people don't know of the third one, but we'll get there. But the main 2 is the Cheers package and the Bottomless Bubbles. So the Cheers package is the alcohol package. The Bottomless Bubbles is made for the kids, not with this. So the Bottomless Bubbles is basically your soda. I'm from up north, so I say pop. He say soda. Anywho, it's the soda beverage package. You got juices, soda, all the stuff that's basically non-alcoholic. So if your Cheers package is your alcoholic beverages, and then you have everything included in the Bottomless Bubbles as well. So I love orange juice. If you know me, any part of me, you know I love orange juice. So if I got the Cheers package, I will have orange juice for free and my alcoholic beverages. And that's at this current time up to 15 beverages per day. But you got to make sure it makes sense to you, because me and Brandon, we drink, but we don't drink too
15
heavy.
a day.
Not 15 a day. But, I mean, you don't have to drink 15 a day for it to make sense. But I will, if I find one, I'll drop a drink package calculator in the description below. And you can check if it makes sense for you. And it'll break it down per how much wine you drink a day, cocktails, beers, stuff like that. And it's per cruise line. So this is not just for Carnival.
If you're a person that likes to turn up, then the Cheers package is for you.
You know what? I actually noticed after my solo cruise that it would have been cheaper for me to get the alcohol package instead of buying a la carte like I did. Yeah. But I didn't use the calculator. But use the calculator in the description. That'll help you. Keep in mind with the drink package too, if we cruise together, we have to buy the drink package for both of us.
For the entire cabin.
Exactly. Yeah. But if I cruise like solo cruise, we both went on solo cruise together. If I cruise by myself, I only obviously pay for one person. So keep that in mind.
Yeah, so if you're in the cabin, if you drink and your partner or friend is a non-drinker, the Cheers package would not be good for you because you have to buy it for the entire cabin. And why waste 15 drinks a day for a person that's not going to drink, that only drinks water or juice? So it's something to think about. Like Alvin said, make sure that it is right for you.
Yeah.
So
certain conditions will waive that second person having to pay for it, but you need a doctor's note for it. But check with your travel agent or call Carnival to get that information.
Yep. All right. Next tip is faster to the fun. So if you don't like lines, this is for you. Depending on your cabin, it's $50 to $100 per cabin. You get priority boarding. Cabin is ready early, before, early on embarkation day. Most of the cabins are ready by 1:30, but if you do the faster to fun, it might be ready earlier than that. So, also you get priority line at the guest service. Priority tendering, which is, if you don't know what tendering is, some ships can't dock at a port. They have to, because the land is too shallow. So they wait out in the water, and then they have smaller boats tender you over to the port.
Yeah.
So, if you get the faster to the fun, you get priority in that tender. You can get on the tender boat earlier than everybody else and get to the port before everyone else. Also, on disembarkation, you get early disembarkation, so you can get off the ship early. Don't have to wait for long lines or wait on everybody else to get off. You can just get off when they announce it.
So it's like if you go to an amusement park, like a fast pass.
Yeah, like a fast pass. Gotcha. Or if you get on the flight, it's like pre-boarding.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or getting off early, pre-deplaning. Also, it's limited access and they only sell to a handful of people. So the faster you get to it, the faster to the fun.
Ah, look at that. So next tip is actually going to be for the investors out there. I like to invest a little bit, so I wanted to share this tip with you guys. So basically, Carnival, they look out for you looking out for them. So if you want to invest in them, they're going to invest in you. So basically, if you buy 100 shares at minimum of Carnival Cruise Line stock, CCL, they'll give you a little benefits every time you go on a Carnival Cruise. So you'll get $50 for every 6 days of cruising or shorter. Any days 7 to 13 days of cruising, you'll get $100, and then you'll get $250 for 14 days of longer of a voyage. So basically, every time you go on a cruise, depending on how many days, depends on how much money they put back in your pocket as an on-board credit.
All right.
The bonus tip, because I want to say that's tip 10. I want to say we had tip 10.
Yeah.
So this is the bonus. So we got an extra little bonus for you. So
this is not the bonus.
This is the bonus.
There's
oh no,
bonus
that's not the bonus. The little alcohol telling me to lie again. Tip 10, book with a travel agent. Definitely use a travel agent. I just became a travel agent. Premier Oasis is a company. It is registered. We are ready to go. We are ready to get some bookings in. I had a little soft opening, so I've already got some clients, but I'm ready to open the doors for everybody. Premier Oasis is open and ready to go. So look us up. Email me at agibson@premieroasis.com. But basically, using the travel agent, this will basically take all the weight off your shoulders and give it to somebody else. I'm not going to be a servant to you, but I will guide you in the right direction. Okay? But some people like to book on their own. Yeah, Brandon liked to book on his own. He liked to look at the hotel prices, look at the flight prices, look at layover times, look at benefits at the hotel, accommodations, all that kind of stuff. So if you one of those people, and to be honest, I'm one of those people too. I like to book my own. Vacations because it's exciting. That's an exciting time. Mm-hmm. You've been saving up all this time, all this money, and you finally get to spend it on something you want to spend it on.
Right.
You can still support a travel agent, and when I say that, it means go through the process. Find that flight that you want. Find the rate that it is. Get the airline, and send all that information to your travel agent. The hotel name, what rate you found, where you found it at, all that stuff, send it to your travel agent. And in most cases, they'll get you the same rate or sometimes a cheaper rate, because as travel agents, we get to see cheaper rates than you do.
I like cheap.
We like cheap. We like to save that dollar. So good travel agents know the ins and the outs. We can get you what you need, and sometimes we can find you better accommodations. I remember for Brandon's solo trip, I booked his hotel, and he saw, like you said, he found his hotel. He just told me the hotel, told me the rate, and I found it, but I found it at a cheaper rate, and it included breakfast that he wouldn't have got if he booked it direct. So you can still do that planning process, do your due diligence, do what you got to do, and just send all that information to your travel agent. And in most cases, if you make the mistake of booking a Carnival cruise directly with Carnival, you can still transfer it to your travel agent.
Yeah.
You can still transfer it to your travel agent. There's some terms and conditions in there, but in most cases, if you don't fully pay it off, you just put your deposit down, and it's within, I want to say, 90 days, you can still transfer it to your travel agent, and I can take over your booking. And so I can let you know of any things, upgrades, all that kind of stuff, so that way you don't have to worry about it. So
last but not least,
we got a bonus tip for
bonus.
you. Bonus.
Woo, woo, woo.
Plus one. What is it?
So, join the Facebook group. Most trips or cruises offer, somebody will create a Facebook cruise. So this is where you can meet other cruisers virtually prior to getting on the ship. Also, if you're a solo cruiser, you can meet other solo cruisers.
Absolutely.
You can get together, have dinner, have drinks. Once you get to the port, guys can get together and do an excursion, explore the city or the island, whatever.
Once I did my solo cruise, I met like 6 solo cruisers in the Facebook group prior to the cruise. And then in Cozumel, we actually did an shore excursion together. It was just 4 of us then, but we all met up. We did a shore excursion. We had a good time. We had a lot of drinks, but we had a good time in Cozumel. And I want to say that was my first solo cruise, and I plan on doing at least 1 solo cruise a year because it's such a great time.
Yeah. Well, on my solo cruise, it was maybe about 7 or 8 of us. Mm-hmm. On the last night of the cruise, we all got together. We had dinner. We drank, laughed, and talked all night long. It was so great, so warming. We really had a good time.
That's great.
Also, on the Facebook group, some groups will offer a meet and greet where you can, on embarkation day, you can meet each other and get to know each other the day of, getting on the ship.
Start that relationship.
They also offer friendly competitions such as door decorating competitions. Yep. Shot glass exchange. Like if I've never been to a state and there's somebody there from a different state, we can exchange shot glasses, Yeah. Also cabin crawls. If Alvin booked a balcony room or a suite and I've never seen what one looks like, I can join the cabin crawl and go see his room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not in a creepy tone, but you go as a group. So it'll be like a group of y'all that all like participate in this, and basically one person will nominate their room per category. So if I had a balcony cabin and Brandon had a suite, I could say, hey, I have a balcony. This is the category type. And as a group, you guys will all go explore the room, look at the amenities, stuff like that. And usually the host will tell you how much they paid for it, when they booked it, stuff like that. So that way you have future notice of when you want to book a cabin like that. And then you leave as a group to go like to the next category, which will be a suite, and you all go look at the suite together. So you basically hip hop rooms. you basically go from cabin to cabin.
Room hopping.
Yeah, you go room
cabin
hopping
from
room to room to look at different category types, just so you can see what they offer on the different ships. Because a balcony cabin on one ship is not the same balcony cabin on a different one.
Right. Also, some groups do slot pulls, which is in the casino, where you possibly could make some money.
Yeah, you can make a little bit, you can lose a little bit, but you ain't got to put in a lot.
Right.
So
also download the Shipmate app, where you can also, if you don't have Facebook, you can meet other cruisers on the Shipmate app. See who's going, message each other,
get reviews for the ship,
reviews for
excursion.
Yep, and
And that's a good way to just log your cruises. So it keeps a history of all the cruises that you've been on. You can write reviews, you can read reviews, stuff like that. You can follow us on the Shipmate app.
Yes.
By downloading the Shipmate app, create your account, and search us Traveling Abroad.
Yes.
So that's
all
it.
Right. That's it.
That's our 10 plus 1 tips on the booking process for Carnival Cruise Line. Don't forget, as always, do what you love what you do, like, share,
and subscribe.
Put a comment below and subscribe to the video.
Yeah.
We'll see you next time where we have some tips for the check-in process
yes.
for Carnival. So catch us next week where we get you the Carnival tips for the check-in process.
And it could help with other cruise lines. So.
Oh, yes. Not just for Carnival, but in some cases, just for Carnival.
Yep.
We'll see you next week.
All right.
See
Bye.
you later.